Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mario Pedro Gould. You are now tuned into the Alpha Success Television Network. It is another beautiful evening. I am cooped up in my home, in my kitchen, cooking a beautiful vegetarian meal for myself. I'm showing myself some love. Are you showing yourself some love, ladies and gentlemen? Is there some things that you're doing in your life to show yourself some love? Okay. This is what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to tackle a very, very important topic that can have a significant impact in your ability to live a vibrant life filled with vitality, filled with excitement, filled with enthusiasm and optimism in the direction in which you're going. We're going to tackle the subject of sadness and depression. Sadness and depression. Before we delve deeply into this topic, I would like to make an invitation to you to take a minute and explore, just really explore the consequences in your life of being sad or of being depressed, of keeping yourself sad and keeping yourself depressed. What are the consequences in your life? How does it affect your relationships? How does it affect your career? How does it affect your business? How does it affect your physicality? And just write these things down and observe very closely what you are doing to yourself when you choose to stay in an extended period of sadness and an extended period of depression. Ladies and gentlemen, I was at the gym the other day and, I met with a female trainer friend of mine, and we just started having a beautiful, beautiful conversation about, what's happening in my life and happening in her life. And she asked me a very interesting question. She said, Mario, are you ever sad? So that was the question she asked me. Do you ever have bad days? I'm trying to remember exactly the words. Do you ever have a bad day, Mario? Do you ever have a bad day? Before I answer that question, I want to ask you the question, do you ever have a bad day? I'm asking you this question. And the answer that you're going to give is a very important answer because it's going to determine the direction that you're heading in your life. So when she asked me this question, I looked at her dead in the eye and I said, hey, you know what? I never have a bad day. I never have a bad day. Okay? And I told her, you can never allow yourself to have a bad day. The most you can allow yourself to do is have a bad half day. Have a bad morning. Have a bad few hours. Have a bad hour. Have a bad half an hour. And tell yourself, when someone asks you how is your day going, you say, you know what, I have had a rough morning, but my afternoon is going to be different. I'm going to create a different reality. Ladies and gentlemen, if you really knew the consequences of the consequences in your life of keeping yourself in a state of sadness and a state of depression, I use the word keeping yourself in a state of sadness and a state of depression for an extended period of time. If you knew the consequences in your life of keeping yourself in this state, ladies and gentlemen, you would do whatever it takes to get out of that state. So she said, Mario, what is it that you do different that enables you to never have a bad day? And I told her, hey, you know what? I give so much to myself before I leave my home in the morning to ensure that I am in a high state. You know what I'm saying? In my life, I have put into place things that I do continuously to make sure that I stay in a high state. Whether it's eating healthy, nutritious foods, whether it's going for a walk in the river in the morning at 6, 7 in the morning, breathing the fresh air, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's going to my facial next week, whether it's going to my massage this weekend, every week. I give to myself on a continuous basis because giving to yourself, ladies and gentlemen, sends a very powerful signal. Sends a very powerful signal to to your brain or to your mind or whatever it goes, to yourself, that you are valuable. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that one of the main reasons that we experience sadness and depression, and check this in your own life when you're experiencing sadness and depression, one of the main reasons you experience sadness and depression is because you feel like, let me try and put the feeling in words, you feel like, I'm hopeless. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't love myself. That's the feeling that you have within you when you feel sad, when you feel depressed. Literally, it's some sort of disgust that you have with yourself, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a two-part solution to this. One is and it's very difficult, I'm just saying the word just, you just have to work on changing the beliefs that you have in your head about yourself and how you see yourself. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you change the beliefs about yourself and how you see yourself, when you start seeing yourself as somebody that's lovable, somebody that's worthy, somebody that deserves the best that life has to offer, then it will become more difficult for you to stay sad and depressed over an extended period of time. Now, this first thing that I'm talking about, changing beliefs, is a continuous day by day, month by month, year by year process, and it takes time because we're working on eliminating beliefs that have been inculcated into us when we were young children. So this is a tough job. I say begin now. No time is better than right now. But what you can do right now, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, is number one, notice. Okay, this is very important. And anytime I feel depressed or I feel sad, in that minute, I notice it. Okay, I notice it. And for me, I won't say sad or depressed for me because that's not what I feel within me. For me, I feel like I am not on my A game. Okay, I am not on my A game. And when I'm not on my A game, I tend to recede into my shell. Okay, so I don't know if that's what you feel when you feel sad or depressed. But for me, when I'm not in my A game, I recede into myself. I am uncooperative. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to interact with society. But the main thing that I do, ladies and gentlemen, is I notice the state that I'm in. So if you're feeling sad, you're feeling depressed, make sure you notice the state that you're in. The food is boiling, hold it. Perfect. So make sure you notice the state that you're in. And once you notice the state that you're in, ladies and gentlemen, here is a most important point. Accept the state that you're in. Accept that you're sad. Accept that you're depressed without giving any explanation to anybody. You're just having a shitty mood and it is okay. And once you accept that within yourself, then something very funny happens whereby you will begin to go within, begin to become more introspective to ascertain why is it that you're feeling less than optimum. Okay, so that's the first thing. Notice the state that you're in. The second thing which I believe that you can do, and I'll actually encourage you to will yourself to do it, is look for something that you can do immediately, no matter how bad you feel, that is giving to you, that shows that you're loving yourself. So for me, when I'm feeling less than optimum, I can immediately go to a yoga studio. I'm giving to myself. You know what I'm saying? Huh. I thought I had someone buzzing. Giving to myself. This evening, I'm here in my kitchen by myself. I've spent a considerable amount of time rinsing, soaking my beans, my lentils, and I'm cooking for myself. And when I'm cooking, I'm thinking about my future. I'm thinking about the millions of dollars that I want to make. I'm thinking about the improvements that I want to make in my health. I'm thinking about who is the lucky lady who's going to be around when I'm cooking for her. And as I'm thinking these things, ladies and gentlemen, I'm feeling an immense sense of love for myself. Feeling an immense sense of love and admiration for myself. When I'm doing these things, I can cook. I'm cooking for myself. I am a valuable person. I got something to offer. So the question that I have for you is, when you're feeling sad and depressed, what are the things that you can put in place that you will do immediately that enable you to feel more loving towards yourself? Okay? This is very important. Write down a list. Is it yoga? Is it going to get a facial? Is it going to the gym? Is it going to get some beautiful health meal? Is it cooking for yourself? Cooking for your significant other? I have discovered, ladies and gentlemen, to live the life more abundant, you need to be in a high state of optimism, enthusiasm, cheerfulness, confidence, magnetism in the external world, because these are the things that create attraction. So, my invitation to you in this coming week is, notice the times when you're getting sad and depressed and put into place guardrails of things that you're going to do to immediately shift the state that you're in. And if you do this, ladies and gentlemen, time and time and time again of an extended period, you're going to transform yourself. So much so that you won't even recognize yourself, and the people around you won't recognize who you were. And they will be attracted to who you are. It's a beautiful life, ladies and gentlemen. Don't take it for granted. Do not have a bad day. Choose to have maybe a bad half day. Choose to have maybe a bad 2 hours. As you get good at this, you'll have a bad hour, a bad half hour, and pretty soon you will be living a magnificent life. Take care. We will continue next week. Have yourself a beautiful evening.